Tonight on SportsDesk, breaking down the Bulls, our In the Trenches crew previews the Hurricanes' ranked showdown this weekend.
And later, a new Cane on the course. Athlete of the Week host Sophia Mazza sits down with a two-time All-American golfer.
And finally, rugby with a spin. Reporter Jaden Coey takes us to one hard-hitting rugby team.
All that and more,
SportsDesk starts
right now.
I'm Ed Reed, and you're watching SportsDesk.
Hi, I'm Jim Kelly, former UM guy. You're watching SportsDesk.
What's up? I'm DJ Williams, and y'all watching SportsDesk.
Hello everyone, it's the moment you've waited all summer for. SportsDesk is back for another great semester of Hurricanes athletics. I'm Shane McDonald.
And I'm Carter Lutz. Thank you for joining us.
Carter, simple question, how does it feel to be back?
Feels good to be back. It feels good to have you alongside me. And of course, football is back. So let's go to Miami Gardens, where Miami hosted Florida foe Bethune-Cookman on Saturday and had their way early and often. Let's head to Hard Rock Stadium for the highlights. We'll bring it to you on the first drive of the game for these Miami Hurricanes, and it's Malachi Toney, the true freshman, shaking and baking for a first down, looking good early in this one. Same drive, Beck drops back, looking middle of the field, has the big play receiver C.J. Daniels, who's been all over the floor making big-time plays and a big-time celebration to show for it. Now, up the middle, Mark Fletcher Jr., ground and pound, first touchdown of the game for him. He finished with two. Miami up to an early lead. They're now up 21-3. Another pass to Daniels. This connection's looking really good, similar to what we saw last year with Ward and Restrepo, and the defense will close things out here with a fumble recovery. Really strong game for Miami overall. Mario Cristobal leads his team to 2-0, 45-3. Miami takes their second game of the season. Carson Beck, how about that stat line? 22 for 24, 267 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's been on fire. Great game for Miami.
Miami is continuing through its Florida gauntlet this week as it hosts the USF Bulls. Ranked 18th after 2 top 25 wins, this game could be a lot trickier than last season's 50-15 blowout over USF. Our In the Trenches crew is live in studio with a breakdown of how the Canes can avoid an upset. Guys?
Thanks, Jay. Welcome to In the Trenches. I'm your host, Penelope Gilbert, joined by analyst Luca Mucciardi. The Canes are coming off a dominant win over Bethune-Cookman, and now that we're 2 games into the season, we've seen a lot from Carson Beck and what he brings to this offense. Luca, what has Carson Beck done so far as a Cane?
Yeah, well, it's no surprise to see that Carson Beck is one of the Heisman candidates this year. Take a look at this graphic, folks, because this is incredible. To start the game against Bethune-Cookman, 15 straight completions. That breaks a record previously held by Vinny Testaverde for this program, a 91.7% completion percentage against the Wildcats. It's good for a 212.6 QBR. And how about this 89.3% total QBR on the season, 5th most in the NCAA. Beck, yeah, he's cooking, folks.
And Corey Heatherman's defense has looked strong so far, but it seems like at times they struggle to stop the run game.
Well, take a look at this from Notre Dame. This is going to be Jeremiah Love in the backfield. He's going to get through the A-gap, bust it through the hole, and get about 15 yards. If we break down this play, you're going to see 1, 2, 3 defenders on the right side for Miami. This is going to be Mo Toure, the linebacker. As he shifts around the outside, you're going to see the center, number 70 for Notre Dame, swing over for the lead block. Let's see if we roll the tape here real quick. Here's Toure in motion. Here's that center shifting over, and that breaks the hole for Love for 15 and more. The Canes are going to have to watch out for that this week. They got Byron Brown coming into town. He had 700 rushing yards as a quarterback just 2 seasons ago. He's going to be really dangerous for USF.
And that matchup against USF just got a whole lot more interesting now that they're ranked in the top 20. Luca, what did the Canes have to do to come out on top?
Yeah, so let's go into this week's Luca's Looks, the keys to taming the Bulls. First off, it's going to be striking first. USF was able to score first against both Boise State and Florida. They've led to wins. Miami's going to have to get on the board early and keep that lead going. Next is going to be bringing the heat. Byron Brown is incredible at extending plays, especially when he has time to sit in that pocket and either look downfield or take off with his legs. Have to try to avoid that if you're Miami. Get Ruben Bain in there early and then finally swing the momentum. This is a USF team that has the whole nation behind them. They're coming off 2 ranked wins. They're looking to be the first team since the 1987 Miami Hurricanes to start their year with 3 consecutive ranked victories.
Well, that's all the time we have for you today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, guys. You've probably seen the warning flags waving in the student section or smoke firing into the air at Hard Rock Stadium, and that would be Category 5. Sarah Lando shows us how the backbone of Hurricanes athletics creates a unique game day experience.
Here at the University of Miami, students take football very seriously. Fans pack the Rock for home games, dress up in orange and green, and tailgate for hours on end, all for the love of the game. But one group of students takes it a step further. Category 5, UM's official student section and spirit group for the Miami Hurricanes, was founded in 2012 by Dr. Patricia Whiteley with the goal of putting school spirit into the hands of students. Cat 5 hosts events, leads game traditions, and hypes up the crowds at Hard Rock with their lively presence in the first 3 rows of the student section. You may recognize sophomore Harrison Wilmot from his spirited game day outfits, but his work as part of Cat 5 goes beyond wearing body paint.
It's definitely like a taxing role because you're standing for the entire game and you gotta have energy the whole game. It's just remarkable like how involved you are, and you're also like bringing a lot of spirit not only to the field and like the players like and the entire stadium, but also to the student section behind you. You're hyping everyone up and being that like catalyst for spirit that everyone's looking at.
When students see smoke billowing through the student section, they know a storm is brewing. In one of Category 5's most well-known traditions, trained students spray fire extinguishers in the air to create a smoky storm warning. Category 5 even offers training so that any student can be a part of this cherished Miami football staple. According to Samantha Bonomi, a member of the squad, Cat 5 not only impacts the fans, but her as well.
So personally, football was not my favorite thing going into the school, but then I feel like being a part of Cat 5 has allowed me to like fully understand what football means to like our community, our school, and like how important it truly is to the fans.
For both Harrison and Samantha, Cat 5 has changed their lives for the better.
College is all about finding your community and the people that you like to surround yourself with, and Category 5 this is like the people that I like to be around.
Sarah Landau, UMTV.
Thank you, Sarah. During the offseason, Miami had to reload its entire receiving core after losing its top 5 pass catchers from last season. So far this season, 2 guys have stolen the show in the midst of the Canes' 2-0 start. We are now joined live by football beat reporter Ashley Friedman, who's in studio with the latest on Miami's dynamic new receiving core. Ashley?
That's right, Carter. CJ Daniels and Malachi Tony are quickly becoming Miami's go-to duo. Both receivers hold Pro Football Focus grades above 80, making them one of the top-rated pairs in the country. Through 2 games, each guy has already hit the end zone and shown they can move the chains. Daniels provided an early season highlight with his one-handed touchdown against Notre Dame, while Tony's bursts have made him a freshman standout from the start. And with USF giving up around 215 passing yards per game, this duo has a perfect chance to prove themselves this weekend.
Now, Ashley, it seems like Miami has some more reinforcements on the way for next season, right?
Yes, Carter, big news for Miami recruiting. 4-star wide receiver Samorian Wingo is officially shutting down his recruitment and sticking with the Hurricanes. The St. Augustine star originally committed in July over Florida and South Carolina, and after multiple visits this fall, he is locking himself into a powerful receiving corps. Miami wants to keep its streak alive with another top 10 recruiting class.
Thanks, Ashley. Coming up on SportsDesk, Annika Alves takes us through one athlete's journey of grit and determination that placed her on an unexpected world stage.
I like to eat apples and bananas. I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Canes volleyball is on a hot streak, winning their last 5 games this season. And the O Sports Roundup crew is ready to take you to the court, tell you more about volleyball and Miami's other Olympic sports. Guys?
What's up, Canes fans? Welcome to the first edition of the O Sports Roundup. I'm Liam Hickey.
And I'm Sarah Landau. Miami volleyball is keeping their momentum this week after sweeping the 305 Challenge, taking wins over Drake, North Texas, and UCF this past weekend. The Canes then came out on top in a 5-set nail-biter against Ole Miss on Wednesday night. After losing the first 2 sets of the match, Ole Miss staged a comeback, winning sets 3 and 4, before Miami finally sealed the deal with a 15-13 fifth set. Looking ahead, the team is currently in Illinois for the Linda Herman Classic, where they play tonight and tomorrow. Liam, can you give us the rundown on what Hurricanes soccer was up to this week?
Miami football traveled to Winston-Salem on Wednesday for their ACC opener against number 17 ranked Wake Forest. The Demon Deacons bagged 2 goals in the first 5 minutes and were able to protect their lead for the rest of the night. Noel Simmons salvaged a late goal in the 73rd minute, but Miami would fall short 3-1. Dropping to 5-2-1, the Hurricanes now face a tough test against number 2 ranked Duke Sunday at Cobb Stadium. Sarah, how are the Canes looking on the links?
On the putting green, Hurricanes golf placed 14th in the Cougar Classic for their first tournament of the season. The team shot 22 over for the day, and transfer Stella Jelinek led the Canes, placing 28th at 1 over for the event. I heard cross country's kicking off their season today. Tell us more.
Miami Cross Country got off and running this morning, opening their season today at the Southern Showcase in Huntsville, Alabama. Both the men's and women's teams are competing in loaded fields, with each group facing off against several top 15 ranked opponents in their 5K events. The Hurricanes returned several key starters, including seniors Enrique Borrego and Nico Valentine. On the women's side, junior Maddie Shire and senior Alexia Rambulo returned to the squad.
Well, that'll do it for the O Sports Roundup. Back to you.
Thank you, guys. In sports, preparation is key. Most athletes train for years to reach the highest levels of competition. But one former Cane had just 3 months to get ready for one of the largest stages in the world. Annika Alves has the story.
On the world stage in Spain, the triathlon tested speed, strength, and endurance. For former Canes rower Leanne Lopez, it tested grit. With just 3 months to prepare, her journey wasn't about medals. It was about proving what determination can accomplish.
I'm proud of myself that I pushed myself that hard in a 3-month period. Like, I'm not going to an international race and represent United States of America and lose.
24-year-old Lopez began her journey accidentally, not realizing her triathlon in Daytona was a qualifier for the 2025 World Triathlon Multisport Championships in Pontevedra, Spain. After receiving an official Team USA email, she began her rigorous training schedule.
It was a quick transition. In a couple of weeks, she was like leading the groups and running fast, and you could see her potential. Very disciplined, very organized, very goal-oriented, very go-getter.
She began documenting her journey on social media and ramping up her fitness with clubs like My Olympic Coach, a community of individuals who uplifted her during the toughest times.
I'll say she's a very motivational person. What you see in social media, it's different from what you see here.
Much more than the physical aspect, the mental aspect is what people don't think about. Even when you are when you're physically feeling like crap, you have to keep going, and that's your mind taking over and saying that you can do it.
She persevered through pain for over 8 hours with nothing but sheer grit, ultimately placing second for Team USA in her age group, crediting the hard work she put in.
My dad always told me the secret's in the dirt, and I was like, Dad, what does that mean? He'd be like, kid, you gotta dig, and it's not gonna be pretty, it's not gonna be flashy, it's gonna be you just getting it done.
And these triathlons were only the beginning for Lopez. She shared that she's currently training for a marathon and has qualified for the 2026 World Champion Triathlon in Dubai. As her journey continues, she hopes to inspire others to start theirs. For UMTV, I'm Annika Alves.
Thanks, Annika. Hurricanes golf teed off their season earlier this week over in Charleston for the Cougar Classic. And leading the way for the Canes is this week's Athlete of the Week, coming all the way from Deutschland. And host Sophia Maza got a chance to sit down with her. Sophia?
Hey Canes fans, welcome to Athlete of the Week. I'm Sophia Maza, and today I'm joined by senior golfer Stella Jelinek. So Stella, you're from Germany. How has the transition been going from playing and growing up in Germany to now Florida?
So I've been here 3 years now, and actually I've never been to the US before coming to college, and it did take me some time to adjust because of the heat, and it's just the culture. Everything is so different from Europe in general. But I think it made it easy because you have so much to do with your new life. I mean, you met so many new people, and I think that made it easy, and you didn't really have time to think about to adjust or how it is back home.
Right. So you're a senior and you decided to transfer to the U for your last season. Why is that?
I mean, I played in a D2 college. It was also in Florida, so I really liked Florida. I wanted to stay here. And after 3 years playing there, I just wanted something new, and I wanted to have the chance to play D1, so I wanted to try, and it worked out. And I love that I can experience and have the chance to play here now.
Awesome. So now we're going to wrap up with a quick game. I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions, and I just want you to answer with the first word that comes to your head.
Okay.
So describe your golf swing.
Fast.
Describe Miami.
Beautiful.
Describe your team this season.
Nice.
Awesome. So that's this week's Athlete of the Week. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Sophia. Up next on Sports Desk, the talented Mr. Tony. Canes fans can't get enough of their true freshman receiver, Malachi Tony, and our behind the post host, I should say, is hopping on the hype train. But first, it's time for some trivia. When was the last time Miami and USF faced off in a ranked matchup? Was it A, never, B, 2005, C, 2013, or D, 2024? Find out after the break.
Thousands of kids start vaping, and I can't let this happen to my kid. So if you want to talk to your kids, you have to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
All right, guys, this weekend could be uncertain. Tell me what your score predictions are for this weekend.
I'm going to go with 31-17.
Okay.
30-6.
Ooh,
Okay.
wow, blowout.
Good,
Okay.
good choices, good choices. I like yours
30-7?
better.
Welcome back to Sports Desk. If you guessed A, never, you would be correct. This series began in 2005, and the only one time one of the teams was in the top 25 for this matchup was last season when Miami took home the win 50-15. Hurricanes hoops are right around the corner, and there's a new man calling the shots. Let's send it to our Hurricane Hangtime crew to break down how Miami can achieve early success with a new men's coach and why January will be the month for the women's team.
Welcome back, Canes, to another season of Hurricane Hang Time. I'm your host, MK Easton, and I'm here with our analysts Tucker Kinney and Annie Watson. The teams have been back in action on the court this summer, and the conference schedules have just been released. Tucker, tell us about the men's team.
Well, MK, on Tuesday, the ACC released the conference schedule for men's basketball, and there are a few big takeaways for the Miami Hurricanes. First of all, there will be no homecoming for Jay Lucas, as Miami won't face Duke in the regular season. This comes as the ACC scales back from 20 to 18 games for the first time since the 2018-19 season. Regarding the games they do play, though, and I think the first few matchups are of particular importance. They'll start things off against Pitt before facing Wake Forest, Georgia Tech, and Notre Dame. If they can get 3 or 4 wins out of those, it will give them momentum and solve a big issue for them last year, which was that they never found their footing as a team. Then they'll go up against Clemson away on January 17th, which, while it's too early to call a must-win game, will certainly be pivotal if they want to succeed in this conference and qualify for the ACC tournament in March.
Thanks, Tucker. Annie, again, the women's schedule was just released. Tell us about the Lady Canes.
That's right, MK. Last Tuesday, the ACC released the women's schedule, and safe to say the conference is as stacked as ever. And that can be a blessing or a curse for Trisha Culp's sophomore season leading these Miami Hurricanes. They kick off the conference at home versus NC State, who was a 2 seed in the tournament last year. And the month of January is pivotal. It'll be the belly of the beast for this conference schedule for the Canes. They kick off on New Year's Day at Virginia Tech, have FSU at home on January 11th, and that mid-month road trip is pivotal. They face off at UNC, at Notre Dame, led by Hannah Holdaga, who is ACC Player of the Year, and at SMU, which will be a revenge tour game for new center Jessica Peterson, in hopes that this Canes squad can go to the ACC tournament, which they failed to do so last season.
Thanks, Annie. We'll see what these teams can do in the preseason, but for now, that's all we have time for. Catch us next Friday for some more Hoop Hustle on Hurricane Hang Time.
Thanks, guys. Game day, big plays, Malachi Tone. Johnny Mustian is here to break down USF coming to town in all things Canes social media on this week's edition of Behind the Post. Johnny, take it away.
Now, summer is great. Jet 2 holidays, Love Island, the affair at the Coldplay concert, but does any of that really compare to Canes social media? Well, I guess there's only one way to find out. With all that being said, welcome back to Behind the Post. I'm Johnny Mustian, and I'm your host. And before we really begin, I just want to apologize about my voice. I sound like this because of 2 reasons. Number 1, my throat is absolutely coated in phlegm. And number 2, I've been screaming my head off at Hard Rock Stadium. The Hurricanes just took on Bethune-Cookman, or should I call them Bethune-cooked, man. The Hurricanes took a 45-3 W. Check out Gerard Pringle Jr. grabbing his first touchdown as a Hurricane.
Down there, and they've got a new stadium coming in 2026. Look out here.
Off to the races, Gerard Pringle Jr. for the touchdown for Miami.
Now, I also got to give a big shout out to Freshman of the Week, Malachi Tone. That guy is 17 years old. For reference, this is what I looked like when I was 17 years old. Oh God, that guy is not getting any touchdowns, even with a quarterback like Carson Beck. And if you thought our football team was good, you should see our football team. The girls have already locked down 5 wins. And with Ciara Alarcon goals like this, you already know the ACC season is gonna be a breeze. Well, that's gonna do it for me here. Let's hope I don't lose my voice anymore at that USF game. But, of course, no promises. And always remember, I'll be here every week giving you the best from Canes social media. I'm Johnny Mustian, and I just took all of you behind the post. Back to you.
Still ahead, we'll tell you about one woman who's still keeping her competitive spirit alive, one fairway at a time. This and more after the break.
Rugby is a sport that is approximately 200 years old and still played today. But not everybody plays the same. Reporter Jaden Cohey got to ride along with one impressive squad. Jaden?
Carter, resilience is a word that is familiar to athletes. However, to the Miami Rattlers, that word has its own meaning. I had the honor of taking a deeper look into the Miami Rattlers.
Known in its early days as murder ball, rugby was a game defined by power, speed, and intensity, qualities that the Rattlers embody with every turn of their wheels. But on the court, they're not just playing for points. They're playing to push boundaries and show the world what true grit looks like.
You go from, you get injured, everyone's kind of trying to take care of you. Everyone's like, oh, you're delicate, you can't do a lot of stuff. And then you get in one of these chairs and you're chasing people and running down the ball. So like you're crashing, you're flipping, you're getting your hands crushed, like it's insane. So like that whole difference from the regular lifestyle in the beginning kind of shows you, you know, you're not delicate. You can get out there and do a lot of things that you probably didn't think you'd do.
One drill this team practices is called rabbit drill, which practices getting the inbound and getting out of the defense. Built for the demands of sport, this wheelchair is made for agility and stability, with 6 wheels rather than the usual 4, and slanted wheels. When the Rattlers invited me to try it myself, I got a first-hand look.
Or you can go in.
That's crazy.
The sense of belonging and community is powerful for these players, but emotionally, it's not the only benefit. Rugby also provides a lot of benefits physically.
We can say with the utmost confidence that they will see an increase in certain cardiovascular health measures, like their cardiorespiratory fitness. Another great thing about wheelchair rugby is sometimes you have to sprint, and there's a power component to that.
But they aren't just content with local tournaments. They have their sights set on a bigger stage, and some team members aspire to take their talents to an international audience.
If I could make it out to the Olympics, that'd be insane. That's my goal. I'm training for that, trying to balance it with school and stuff, but one sport or another, I'm going to be in the Olympics.
I just actually got accepted to the Team USA developmental team for wheelchair rugby, and it's like a 3-4 day camp that they do at Lakeshore over there where the Team USA trains in December, and they're going to be coaching us and helping to develop our skills so that if we're good enough, we can eventually be on Team USA.
Another challenge is the ability to even participate in adaptive sports such as wheelchair rugby. For more information on how to start your journey, visit www.challengedathletes.org. Jaden Cohey, UMTV.
Thanks, Jaden. Sometimes life comes at you fast. And as Luis Garcia and Jeremy Pena found out last night, so does a baseball. Let's take you to the Rogers Center in Toronto, where the two combined for this week's Play of the Day. Division-leading Blue Jays taking on the Astros in Toronto, and it's going to be Garcia at the mound pitching to Nathan Lucas. This one's going to go off his bat, off of Garcia and into the hands of Jeremy Pena, the shortstop for the Astros. What a play. What a Johnny on the spot right here, off of Garcia and into Pena's glove. And that would not power out the Astros to a win as they lose 4-3, but that is your Play of the Day.
Now I know the Miami student body loves to head out to the golf course, hit a couple chips, a couple putts, what have you, but no cane, and I mean no cane, compares to this. Pearl Clemens Atwood, 100 years young, is still swinging the club freely. Yeah, that's right, she's still got it as she blows out her 100-year-old candles. Even with the driver from the tee box, Pearl is doing a great job on the links. And check this out, she wins the first centenarian women's golfer at her country club, putting from the fairway for that matter. That's a Texas wedge where I'm from. But Shay, I'm getting out ahead of this right here, right now. Pearl, if you're listening, if you have friends listening, I'm happy to be your scramble partner if you need someone.
Carter, I wish you the best of luck with that, but she looks like she is cooking, and she might cook you a little bit. But well, that's all for this today's show. Thank you for joining us.
Make sure to catch us here every Friday, same time, same place. See you next week.